Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash. Today is Thursday, November 20th, 2025, and we are here to talk about Week 12 in the NFL. Week 12, Doug, is already here. Before you know it, the season's going to be over, and we're going to be talking about the playoffs. It always goes by so fast, but I can't believe it's going by this quick, and we're literally a week away from Thanksgiving, so this year is flying by.
I know. Looking forward to Thanksgiving, though.
Yeah,
food and football. Food and football.
Really good slate on Thanksgiving, which we will have a podcast. I'm thinking probably Tuesday or Wednesday next week. We'll have a podcast for Week 13 since we do have the Thanksgiving slate. We can cover the Thanksgiving slate more in detail. I don't know how much we've done that in the past, but I would like to do that this year. If you're new to DFS Coach Talk, first of all, if you would hit the like button and then hit subscribe. After you've done those two things, if you would hit the alarm bell, that will let you know when our newest podcast has gone live. If you're not familiar with DS Coach Talk in general, we do have a Discord where we have a very positive and family type environment in our Discord, and we would love to have you be a part of it. We have memberships that start as low as $4.99 a week. And if you are new, if you've never seen our podcast or you're not currently a member in our Discord, I will be giving out a free membership for a week during this podcast. So definitely stay tuned. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and get into it. Doug, anything you want to add before we start doing the game-by-game look for Week 12?
Oh, no, I think the bang for the buck is more than worth it. Yeah, just NFL or NBA alone.
Yeah, definitely.
Is a bargain.
I mean, we definitely, help people get their money back and then some, usually within the first day or two, for sure. So, but yeah, that's a great value, and we will have some specials during the Christmas season too, which is coming up around the corner. So stay tuned for that. We'll start with tonight's game, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. The Buffalo Bills taking on the Houston Texans in Houston. Buffalo is a 5.5-point favorite on the road, minus 275 on the money line with an over/under of 44.5. Game is indoors, so there's no weather. The Jets are in Baltimore on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. There's no international game this week, so we have a normal 1 p.m. Eastern slates. New York Jets in Baltimore. Baltimore is a 13.5-point favorite, minus 970 on the money line, which is a little surprising because it looks like Tyler Huntley might be starting at quarterback. So still a 13.5-point favorite. Over under 44.5. 3% chance of rain only, 51 or 51 degrees, with a 7-mile-an-hour wind blowing to the west. We have the Steelers in Chicago. The Bears are a 2.5-point favorite at home, minus 145 on the money line, over under a 45.5. 1% chance of rain and 50 degrees with, I don't even know why they listed that. 50 degrees and blowing to the west at 8 miles an hour. New England Patriots in Cincinnati taking on the Bengals. The Patriots are a 6-point favorite on the road, minus 260 or 280 on the money line with an over/under of 51.5. That's probably the highest on the slate, I would think. 2%, again, these low numbers. 54 degrees with the wind blowing to the west-southwest at 5 miles an hour. We have the New York Giants in Detroit taking on the Lions. The Lions are a 10-point favorite at home, minus 565 on the money line with an over/under of 50. Our teams are playing this week, Doug. Packers and Vikings in Lambeau. Packers are a 6.5-point favorite at home. It's a little bit aggressive, ambitious to me. I think it should be a really close game. Green Bay is minus 290 on the money line with an over/under of 41.5. So they are expecting a defensive battle, as am I. 48 degrees, wind blowing to the west at 6 miles an hour. The Indianapolis Colts in Kansas City taking on the Chiefs. Chiefs are a 3.5-point favorite at home, minus 130, 185 on the money line with an over under a 50. 56 degrees with the wind blowing to the south-southwest at 5 miles an hour. We have the Seattle Seahawks in Tennessee. Seattle's a 13-point favorite on the road, minus 880 on the money line. Low over under a 40. 60 degrees, wind blowing to the north-northeast at 4 miles an hour. Move to the afternoon. Jacksonville taking on Arizona. In Arizona, Jacksonville is a 3-point favorite on the road, minus 160 on the money line with an over under a 47.5. Cleveland Browns Raiders in Las Vegas. Vegas is a 4-point favorite at home, minus 210 on the money line with an over under of 36. That's extremely low. We have Eagles taking on the Cowboys at 4:25 p.m. Eastern. This is probably the game of the week in most people's minds. The Eagles are a 3-point favorite on the road, minus 170 on the money line with the over under 47.5. We have the Falcons taking on the Saints in New Orleans. The Saints are a 2-point favorite at home, minus 135 on the money line with the over under 40.5. Sunday Night Football, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Los Angeles Rams in LA. Another really good matchup. Rams 6.5-point favorite at home, minus 350 on the money line with an over under 49.5. And it looks like Bucky Irving should be back for Tampa hopefully this week. We have the Panthers taking on the 49ers on Monday night. 49ers are a 7-point favorite at home, minus 345 on the money line with an over under 49.5. 58 degrees with the wind blowing to the northwest at 5 miles an hour. So before we get to our position by position plays, anything you want to add, Doug, as far as the overview of the week?
Just a lot of moving parts of injuries this week.
Yeah, for
A little
sure.
more so than normal, I think, and the lower scores. But I wanted to comment. Fantasy scores in general are going down each and the last couple of years.
As and this year drops, that's how it usually goes, right? So
yeah, it's been dropping each year. It's been going down though.
Definitely.
So yeah,
and we saw that quite a bit last week. The scores were definitely down. I think a lot of guys underperformed from what we thought they would. So definitely something to keep an eye on in terms of the weather and how people are performing in regards to that, related to that. All right, so quarterbacks. I'm going to go with my pay-up option is going to be Jared Goff. He's 6,000 on Draftkings, 8,000 on Fanduel. New York has allowed the second most fantasy points to quarterbacks this year. Goff's coming off his worst game as a professional football player, worst game of his career when it comes to completion percentage at only 37%. 37% against the Eagles last week. I think he's going to bounce back in a big way against the Giants. As long as, the Lions O-line gives them time to throw against the pass rush of the Giants. But the Giants are pretty bad against the run, so that should open up some opportunities for them to establish the run, which should then open up the passing game in a big way for Goff and the offense for the Lions. So I do like Jared Goff. My value quarterback is actually going to be my top quarterback too, Jacoby Brissett, 5,300 on DraftKings, 7,300 on FanDuel. He's just been playing really well since he took over as a starter in Arizona. He's averaged 23.7 fantasy points. Going up against Jacksonville, they have allowed the 5th most fantasy points to quarterbacks this year. And I think, even without Marvin Harrison Jr., he should have another really nice game. So those are my 2 quarterbacks that I'm looking at. Probably not going to deviate much from those 2. So who do you like this week at quarterback?
Well, that's a great question. My computer decided to be a freak. Yeah.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it's all right. I had, oh boy. I hope my notes are up to date. I had Patrick Mahomes as my number 1. And I had, oh my goodness, this is not up to date.
Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
Good.
Well, no, I did not. No, Drake May off the top of my head. People, I'm gonna wing it today. All right, so it'll be fun. Mahomes and I did have Jones up there. I pouted him. I dropped him down. Good either. I think it's more of a defensive battle rather than offense in that game now.
I can see that.
Maybe I should drop Mahomes down some. But other players I did have, I like Drake May. I said a lot. Caleb Williams and Odunze, I think, are gonna hook up this week finally.
Okay.
I gotta do a little better. Stafford, you like Dart if he is back. I do like Kim.
Yeah.
Boy, how am I doing off the top of my head so far?
I
Your
think you're doing
Brissett,
pretty good, man. I think you're doing.
Brissett's solid.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're good to go on that. But
Okay.
Brissett, I think, is the best value out there.
Yeah, I do too.
And
I do too.
and I'll pull up. We'll go forward. I'll pull up the other notes.
I
I
do like
back up notes.
I do like the Jackson Dart call. He looked pretty good against the Bears that game before he got hurt. So I do like the Jackson Dart call against the Lions defense, which actually, which obviously struggles against the pass. Let's see. Running backs. So obviously you have the top tier, the Jonathan Taylors, the Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley. I think they're probably going to obviously be the top players you can play every week pretty much.
Can you rank your top four?
But my top running back this week, my number one running back is TreVeyon Henderson. 6,700 on DraftKings, 7,500 on Fanduel. Ramondre Stevenson, since he went down, Henderson's just kind of exploded. He's had 31 and 32.3 DraftKings points with 5 touchdowns, 4 rushing touchdowns, and 1 receiving. Going up against the Bengals this week, they have allowed the most fantasy points to running backs this year. And last week, they allowed Kenneth Gainwell to score 29.5. So if Kenneth Gainwell can score 29.5, then TreVeyon Henderson should be in for a monster week. Even if Ramondre Stevenson comes back, I still like Henderson a lot. He's just shown a whole lot of potential in these last couple of weeks, which he was very highly thought of course, coming out of the draft. But he's really started to live up to that potential the last couple of weeks. So yeah, really like TreVeyon Henderson tonight. I will mention I do like Woody Marks against the Bills. I do think that Javonte Williams is a bad play against the Eagles. He had a really nice game against the Eagles in week 1, and I think some people might look at that and kind of think if they should go back to that. I would not advise it. Jalen Carter got suspended, as everybody knows, in the pregame in that game, and the defense of the Eagles has really improved over the course of the year, and especially since the trade deadline with them adding Jalen Phillips, and then they also got Nolan Smith and Nakobe Dean back. So their defense is really playing well. So I would not use Javonte Williams this week. I like for value, kind of looking at Zach Charbonnet, 4,900 on DraftKings, 6,200 on FanDuel. Going up against the Titans, they have allowed the 8th most fantasy points to running backs. And I think that this game, they're a 13 and a half point favorite, something like that. Seattle is. So if the game goes that way, then Charbonnet should get plenty of carries and opportunities, especially in the second half and kind of the garbage time minutes. So I think that Charbonnet should have a nice game. Had a really rough game last week against the Rams, so it's a really good spot to bounce back. Another player I'm avoiding is Emmanuel Wilson. Going up against the Vikings, they have allowed the 10th fewest fantasy points to running backs. I think that he's going to be pretty popular. I've seen his name touted a lot, but I actually think Josh Jacobs is going to play. He did practice today on a limited basis, and usually if he practices, it means he's going to play. So if he doesn't play, I still don't like Emmanuel Wilson because I think that they'll stack the box and they'll force Jordan Love to beat him. But either way, I don't really like Emmanuel Wilson this week. Now, if Jacobs is out, I do like on DraftKings Chris Brooks. He can get involved in the passing game, so he's kind of my sleeper this week. But that's really kind of like a last resort punt play type play. I'm not really that high on Chris Brooks either. So TreVeyon Henderson, Woody Marks tonight if you're playing the Thursday night game, and then Charbonnet is a value player. They're going to be my top running backs this week.
Oh, okay. I'm glad it clarified the Woody Marks part. Oh boy, here we go again, everybody. My top running back is Gibbs this week.
Okay, I like Gibbs too.
Robinson, 1, 2, flip a coin. Whoever has less ownership. And then Jonathan Taylor, let's give a harder time running the ball. But I do think he'll be more involved in the pass game.
Okay.
With screen passes, so he may actually receive. Yeah, DraftKings is a little more in play, but he's still not in play for that price.
Yeah.
And then I have a slash Barkley. That's my second tier.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out if Henry can run the ball anymore.
Yeah.
If he can't run the ball this week, I expect Lamar to play.
Yeah, I think if
vacation.
Derrick Henry can't get it going this week, then they really have to start looking at some of their young guys and see what they have there because he's really been struggling.
Yeah. They don't have too much of one guy. That's it. But yeah, they he's a unique player when he was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Just 2 years ago. But I do love Barkley. I think Barkley against Dallas this week.
I like that.
I mean, honestly, I had him. These are the tiers I have, but I like Barkley over for the value. I like him more than the other three. And then right after Henry, I got Henderson. And then if Stevenson is in, I am digging him down about 5 spots.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually don't mind Williams a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't play him this week. Jacobs, I'm worried about playing him because if he does play, how effective will he be?
True.
I'm off on Jacobs. Warren, is he playing this week?
I don't know. I think he is, but I haven't.
He's questioned. Q-tag on it.
Well, he's questionable.
Right.
Gainwell's going to be playing if Warren's out. So
yeah, that's an important thing to know. So everybody keep track of that, please. Everybody on that.
He was limited today, so both Jalen Warren, who didn't practice yesterday, was limited today, and so was Aaron Rodgers. So I think Aaron will end up playing.
Yeah, I do too. Just from what I'm starting to read, I read that earlier. A half hour ago, I was reading, going over the injury list again. Just because too much new to catch up on. And then just go down some more tiers. Sorry, everybody. Kamara, if he's going to have any good game this year, it'll be this week.
Mm-hmm. I like that call.
And then Chase Brown. Everybody's pretty high in Chase Brown this week. Yeah. It depends who's playing at quarterback for Cincinnati. And don't go play Joe Burrow, everybody. Please don't. No, it's a tough matchup for him this week.
If Burrow's out and Joe Flacco starts, do you like Chase Brown?
No.
Okay. Do you like him if Burrow starts?
No.
Okay. So
no, I got him 7 notches. Yeah.
You don't
that's his. No, he's one of my more favorites.
I mean, I don't like Chase Brown this week either because the same reason you said against the Patriots defense. So
I mean, it's weird. I mean, I like Walker better this week, but how many meaningful? I mean, he's going to get cut into if the game's a blowout, like you said. If it's somewhat competitive, I still think it's.
And I don't know how much I like Joe Flacco either if he starts because without Jamar Chase, I think that Christian Gonzalez is just going to, shadow T. Higgins. And then who is he going to throw to? There's not going to be much to throw to. So
and that's just it. And well, I mean, Joe can make any receiver good.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow can. Joe Flacco can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just he's amazing. Joe Burrow's was right on their hands.
Right.
It's just amazing what that man does. It just is amazing.
Yeah, the ball placement is phenomenal.
Okay,
let's go to.
Can I just finish up real quick?
Yeah.
Devontae Swift and ATM, or I don't mind them a little bit of them.
Okay.
Montgomery, and I don't mind looking at Knight Carter if Benson's out. And if Benson does start for some odd reason, I'd start him.
Yeah, I don't think Benson's going to play. Let me see if he practiced today. I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either.
Because they've only just opened up the window for him to return, right? They haven't even.
Right. Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah, but he's tough.
Yeah.
And going up gets a very pass weak defense. Although the Cardinals
they activated or they designated him to return yesterday.
Yeah.
And he was limited, so we'll have to see what he does today. But I don't think he's going to play. I think next week he'll be back for sure, but not this week, is what I think.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anyways, yep, we can move on now. And then and that's the case.
Wide receivers. Jamison Williams is going to be my top wide receivers, 5,700 on DraftKings, 7,100 on Fanduel. Giants have allowed the 6th most fantasy points to wide receivers this year. Last week, we saw very similar body type to Jamison Williams and Christian Watson. Big, fast, wide receiver, had a nice game with 2 touchdowns. I think Williams will have just as good, if not a better game than Christian Watson this week. So I do like Jamison Williams. He's definitely gotten involved more and more lately in the Lions offense, I guess you could say, since Dan Campbell took over as a play caller. So
exactly
to continue. There really wasn't much of a reason for him not to be, because he's a very talented player. Devontae Smith, I like him, 5,600 on DraftKings, 7,200 on FanDuel. Cowboys have allowed the 3rd most fantasy points to wide receivers this year. He had a terrible game Sunday night against the Eagles, or against the Lions. 1 catch on 5 targets for 8 yards. So he just literally did nothing. So I look for Devontae Smith to have a big game against Dallas. As much as I hate to say it, Jordan Addison, 5,400 on DraftKings, 6,800 on FanDuel. He's had really good decent amount of success against the Packers so far. He's averaged 17.3 DraftKings points in 4 games against them. I think that Carrington Valentine, who's been pretty solid since he replaced Nate Hobbs, I think he'll be on Justin Jefferson. So I think Keyshawn Nixon's going to be on Addison, which he's kind of been up and down this year. So I think Addison's going to be in a good spot. Same thing with Jalen Naylor. If you want to look at him in a deeper league in a GPP tournament, you can look at Jalen Naylor too. I like Michael Wilson, 4,800 on DraftKings, 6,300 on FanDuel, with Harrison Jr. being out again. He saw 18 targets last week. That's just ridiculous. 18 targets, 15 catches, 36.5 DraftKings points. Just really unbelievable numbers. And Jacksonville's been pretty average against wide receivers, so I do like that. And I also like, as another sleeper, Luther Burden III. He's 3,600 on DraftKings, 4,700 on FanDuel. Steelers have allowed the most fantasy points to wide receivers this year, so he's definitely in play as a value deep sleeper play.
Great. I just restarted my computer, so it's definitely going off the top of my head now.
Oh, yeah.
Wait for this. No, I like JSN. He's my number 1.
Uh-huh.
I had him all in rank, too, and everything. But anyway, JSN, number one. I am gonna I don't like you had said about the Bengals number 1. I don't like him this week. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, this week don't like him. Just think who else I did like this week. Amon St. Brown or Williams. Either one of those two is gonna have a good week this week.
Both, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so those two I did like. I do think, like I mentioned, the Bears wide out. Either Burden or Odunze's gonna have a good week this week. So I do like that. I am fading anybody named Minnesota this week on offense.
Okay.
I don't think a receiver will hit 60 yards.
Wow. Okay.
That's how bad
McCarthy is. That in my Prizepicks plays with Jefferson, because he always has like at least a 74 or 75 yards for his props. So I might have to look at the under on that.
Yeah, well, I would go down on that. But McCarthy's throwing not inaccurate balls, they're completely inaccurate balls. Right. And when he does throw an accurate one, and then he'll throw 2 or 3 horrible passes after that.
Did you see on NFL Live when Dan Orlovsky was breaking down his throwing motion?
I don't know if I want to.
Oh man, he was talking
about seen it.
How you did see it?
No, I haven't, but I've seen this.
Yeah, he was talking about how wide his feet are when he's throwing, and how his release is like way back here. So it's just his mechanics are a little janky. So to say,
let me go in depth on this real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
His footwork is like someone that's a freshman in college. I'm not being harsh. I'm being accurate. I'm not going to sugarcoat it here. It's that bad. It's horrible. And then when he does have it, then he gets amped up. Then he overthrows the ball. And
Mm-hmm.
then he gets amped up again. I gotcha. And he overthrows the ball again. Or throws it too hard when he can just sail it into there.
Right.
He's doing as many things wrong as possible at quarterback that he could do. Now, will he learn from it? Well, he got to do reps in order to learn how to
Sure.
when you get your footwork done correctly and are coached correctly to do
Mm.
your footwork correct. It takes reps to learn it. They say 10,000 passing reps to get that down. Well, he's had 10,000 passing reps and he's come back with his knees between practice and games now. He hasn't gotten better yet.
Right.
And people in Minnesota are optimistic. He's a rookie quarterback, blah, 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 blah. True, but he hasn't gotten any better.
Yeah.
I say that he has thrown 2 quarters this year.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth quarter with the Bears, and then 2 games ago he had a good quarter.
Yeah.
I'm
mechanics can obviously be taught and they can be learned. I mean, I don't know if you remember
they can be.
Aaron Rodgers, when he was first in the league, he used to hold the ball right up here. Obviously he changed his mechanics over the years, but he had a pretty poor mechanics when he first came into the league, and he definitely improved. So we'll see if, I'm not expecting JJ McCarthy to turn Aaron Rodgers, obviously, but to turn into a serviceable starting quarterback, I think he definitely can do that. So,
yeah, Aaron Rodgers also had 3 years of college tape for them evaluated where he was in the passing offense. And Michigan, McCarthy handed the ball off, so they know that he can do that quite well.
Mm-hmm.
And there are 64 other quarterbacks in the NFL that can do that.
Right. Exactly.
I don't think right now he's the best starting quarterback on their roster.
No, I was really surprised when they went to McCarthy. I mean, he was obviously on a dominant defensive team in Michigan, and they ran the ball with Blake Corum, so it wasn't like he was throwing the ball over the yard, because that wasn't their offense at all. So it was a little surprising when they took him. At the same time, Kevin O'Connell has kind of been a quarterback whisperer, so we'll see what happens. So
and then look, Jones goes to Indianapolis. Daniel Jones, how's he doing? Great. And then you got Sam Darnold going to Seattle. Jackson Smith and Jigma is blowing out of the water now.
Mm-hmm.
Doing great. Okay. Look at this. I mean, really. And then the Vikings have McCarthy.
Yeah. True.
And then, the year before that, they got rid of Cousins, but at least he would throw an 8-yard pass accurately.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, I want to go over this 2 more. I think possibly a Philly receiver being play off the top of my head. I didn't mention that. My only other bargains besides the one you mentioned would be the Giants Huggins. I can't remember.
Hodgins?
Yes.
Yeah,
Hodgins.
He was getting a lot of catches. So, yeah.
He runs a lot of good routes, and he's catching the ball. It's being thrown to him. And I think Wendell,
a few years ago, being with the Giants, wasn't he one of the receivers that had a big game against the Vikings in the playoffs?
It might have been him, yeah.
I think
it was.
Yeah.
It was him.
Yeah.
And then, but anyway, I do like him. He's not great, but Wendell Robin, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying he's dependable, so.
Yeah. And I don't know, Wendell Robinson might have a big game, but he's not been as consistent on what's going on with him.
Yeah.
And then, Zay Flowers, there's Zay Flowers only in GPPs, but he could have a big game this week, finally. He's got a good matchup this week. No cornerbacks. You look at the Jets 15th ranked pass defense, they don't have the people they had there a couple weeks ago.
Sure.
The trade deadline's gone, and that makes,
Yeah.
So I think that makes a huge difference on their defense.
No Sauce Gardner, and obviously no DJ Reed either. So.
And I was going to ask you, who do you like in the Packers receivers? Because you said they're going to stack the box against.
Yeah, I didn't really talk about the Packers receivers. Christian Watson would be the only one I'd really consider. I've had him in my lineups this week. Just a little preview for our lineups this week, but I've had him in our lineups most of the week, but I don't know if he's going to end up there. I think I'm going to be going a little bit different route. I do like Jameson Williams. If Josh Jacobs plays, I think it just kind of changes a lot. So I think that Christian Watson would be the one receiver I could probably trust, but until Jaden Reed comes back, I think that the passing offense is still going to be kind of hit and miss. So,
okay.
With no Tucker Kraft, I mean, that makes a huge difference too. So.
How's Dobbs going to be this week?
Dobbs has been dropping the ball lately. He hadn't really had that issue all year. Seemed like he had kind of finally fixed that. That was his issue last year and a little bit the year before, but especially last year. And hadn't been dropping the ball at all. He dropped, I think, 3, maybe even 4 passes against the Giants, and he dropped 1 or 2 the week before against the Eagles. So yeah, he's been dropping the ball a little bit. So that's not a good trend.
Yeah, when he's been going to the ground, he's always in a lot of pain. And I'm wondering, his shoulders, I think, are hurt. And I think that might be affecting him in his catching.
Right.
Any injury you have can make it more difficult, as you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He had that chest injury, and it was like he just forgot how to catch all of a sudden. I mean, he did have a couple decent catches in that game, but not, he dropped some easy ones too.
Yeah. And so I think that might
it's really hard to trust any of the Packers receivers. They're
tight ends.
They're banged up a lot. Watson's, oddly enough, been the most healthy one recently, so hopefully
he's coming back. Yeah,
that's always been his issue, is staying healthy. So
yeah, he's always been talented.
Yeah, he is very talented. I like Watson a lot. It's just he hadn't been able to stay healthy. So hopefully Reed should be back. I don't think he'll play against the Lions in Thanksgiving. I think he'll be back against the Bears.
Here's the thing I wanted to mention. If Dobbs is the one on the inside, then I do like Cam Murphy's not covering on the outside. I really like. And then the Vikings are beyond underwhelming in safety this year play, especially against the pass. And they've been doing horrible run angles. I think that'll bite them later in the game. If it the games the Packers keep game scripting it, because if the Vikings do 2 and out, get the hit on the out, or in 1 and out, and then 3 and out, and then 3 and out, their defense is gonna get worn out, and I think the Packers are gonna run it on them.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
All right,
go ahead. Tight
so
ends.
what I'm saying is that if the Packers running backs were more healthy, or we knew what was going on there, or if you had information before our time that there's no holding back on Josh Jacobs, then let him go. But quite frankly, I think he should probably rest this week, put Wilson out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what they should do. I just know that Josh Jacobs has been one that's played through a lot of injuries in the past.
Yeah, I know.
At the same time, the Packers probably have one of, if not the most conservative training staffs. So they usually hold guys out if it's even remotely close to being questionable. So I could see that. I could see them holding him out. He even mentioned that today in the locker room interview. He said that if he misses a game, it'll be this week, but he'll definitely play against the Lions on Thanksgiving. So, tight ends. So Trey McBride, no surprise there. 6,800 Draftkings, 8,500 on Fanduel. Had 10 catches on 11 targets for 115 yards and a touchdown against the 49ers last week. 30.5 DraftKings points. Going up against Jacksonville, they have allowed the second most fantasy points to tight ends this year. So Trey McBride, going to be pretty much core play in every lineup, I think, for me. Hunter Henry against the Bengals, they have allowed the most fantasy points to tight ends, so I like that. If he plays, I do like Brenton Strange coming off of IR. A lot of people forgot about him. Good matchup against Arizona. And my GPP sleeper play, he got a touchdown last week, is Josh Wiley. He's really the only tight end that the Packers have right now that can both block and catch. Luke Musgrave has kind of blown his opportunity, I think. I mean, he had more snaps last week than any other tight end, and he got like 3 drop passes. So you start dropping the ball like that, and your only real skill that you have is as a pass catcher. It's not good news for Musgrave. So I would think Fitzpatrick and Wiley are going to get more snaps than Musgrave this week, even though LaFleur said, I don't know if you saw that, but he said that he was going to definitely have to get Musgrave more snaps. That just doesn't make sense. You don't get more snaps when you drop the ball. So,
well, the reason he mentioned that, so the offensive line's injured and they need him for his blocking.
Yeah, well, Musgrave's not a good blocker though. That's the thing. It's going to be Wiley and Fitzpatrick are the blockers.
That makes no
Musgrave,
sense.
pretty much all he can do is catch. So
I thought Wiley was a pass catcher though too.
He is, but he's still a blocker too. He can do both. So
that's what tight ends in DC are expected to do in the NFL now.
Yeah. But Musgrave's he's not a blocker at all. I mean, he might be able to develop that skill, but as of right now, he's just a pass catcher, and he's not even been that great at that. So it's been a frustrating thing that they picked him in the 2nd round, and then they got lucky with Kraft, in the 5th round. But that's just that's been a disappointment.
They actually did not get lucky with Kraft. They're lucky. They weren't even going to draft the 2nd tight end that year, and then but they had Kraft right behind Musgrave.
Right.
And that's why they drafted him in the 5th round. They keep passing this guy up, but we really liked what he saw in him. And then they picked him, and
third round. He was a 3rd round pick. I thought he was a 5th round, 3rd round pick.
Kraft.
So they went. Yeah. So they went back to back with Musgrave and Kraft. That's right. I remember.
That makes more sense to me because they had him right behind.
Yeah.
Musgrave. Exactly. Yep. That makes sense now. You know what they're doing, Josh? Draft. They could draft from Minnesota.
Yeah, they do draft pretty well. Travis Kelce, I don't think I mentioned him. He's another tight end.
I love him.
I like so.
Yep, I love him this week. I was gonna mention him as my number 3. Bowers I don't say Bowers. Cleveland's got a good defense.
Yeah, but their pass defense is a little leaky. I mean, obviously they get pressure with Myles Garrett, but outside of that, their pass defense can be had at times. So
sure. And what are they against? They're 11th against tight ends and 11th in the NFL against tight ends.
Right.
Eden Henry, Andrews, again, Flowers or Andrews. If they can't run the ball with Henry, they're going to be passing these balls around, and I can be able to do that. I know Noah Fant, when I did mention how much is he? 3,100. Noah Fant, 3,100. Don't mind him. Bengals need to pass it somebody besides a running back. And like you said, you already mentioned it, and then and as you can tell, I got part of my computer up and running. And what?
Oh, I was just saying. Oh, okay, yeah. You got your computer.
I got part of it going. Yeah, and you did already mention the ones I already mentioned, except for Wiley. I wasn't going to mention him.
Yeah.
Because Nitu is the other person I was going to add my list. I don't got my list up yet. Just listen. It's strange, that one. Loveland against Pittsburgh. That's a thought. How much is Loveland? 3,500 at Draftkings. He's in play.
Pittsburgh's linebackers in the middle are not the fastest, so I think that you can definitely get them a little bit with Loveland.
They're slow. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just they're going to pass it to somebody, and it's either Dunze, Loveland, or Luther Vandross III. Oh my goodness! No, I thought I would mention.
So,
anyways,
do you think Porter will be on? Because he's their best corner. Do you think he'll be on Moore, or do you think he'll be on a Dunze?
I don't think he's that good anymore.
Who's that?
Porter.
Oh, you don't think Joey Porter Jr. is that good
anymore?
Okay. I mean, he's been their best corner, but that's okay.
Do you know the stats on that or what?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, they haven't had good corner play pretty much all year, so that's why
right.
Asante Samuel Jr.
And
But
exactly, and he came back,
yeah,
or they got him on board. Porter, I believe, was hurt at the beginning of the year, and as their defense tightened up yet against the pass, it's a question.
a little bit, but maybe not what they are hoping for yet. So
They it might be fine, and then but what I was reading is that Odunze should give him fits, honestly. And he's dropped a few balls have just been slightly misthrown. He could have got a couple of touchdowns each of the last 2 weeks.
yeah,
But I think if the Bears are either going to be able to run it on Pittsburgh or pass it or both.
yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, and if if they don't have Rodgers starting, then we kind of know they can run the ball a little more.
Yeah, I think Rodgers will start. Like I said, he was upgraded to limited today, so he's trending in the right direction. And it's the Bears. I mean, he's going to get up for that game. He always has. I was looking at his stats. He's thrown 8 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in his last 4 games at Chicago. So,
wow, he's really good. Clearly, he's from California too.
Yeah.
And then yeah, this is important to me is that Metcalf has been horrible the last 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I would almost fade him now. It's just he's got a.
Well, I think they might be getting back one of, if not both, of Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon. So that's just going to help their defense that much more.
Right. So. Yep. And they say who they get in the trade deadline too. They got some of those eligible as well.
Yeah, I can't remember who they got right now.
Yeah, but it was someone okay.
Yeah.
And then if Porter is on a Tuesday, that might I'll check into that.
Okay.
I'll check into that.
All right. This is the defense. Seattle, I like them against Tennessee, of course. Detroit against the Giants. I like the Ravens against the Jets. I think Tyrod Taylor is going to be starting for the Jets. The Raiders against the Browns, and Raiders have been good against the run, so that's a pretty good matchup on paper for them. And then the Cardinals against Jacksonville, I like them too.
Yeah, and Tyrod Taylor is starting for the Jets.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
So what
defenses?
You like? Yeah,
I like Green Bay against Minnesota. You don't throw any 3,600. Might get a touchdown. I would play them. I do like Minnesota against Green Bay. They might be good for a touchdown.
Yeah.
You're getting the theme here. I do like Baltimore's defense against the Jets. Yeah. Yep. One I'm looking at here, it's really second to bottom, and that is the Giants defense against Detroit.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I thought about that one.
But anyway, I wouldn't touch it. I just thought it was interesting. And then the Cardinals and Jacksonville. I don't mind the Cardinals defense against Jacksonville at all.
Okay. So pretty similar plays there.
And then like the Chiefs and Colts. Colts are probably on cheaper, like 2,400, I believe, on Draftkings.
Yeah.
That's a good price for them there. And
like I said, give Daniel Jones some problems. I do.
Both those teams are in play well on defense.
Yeah.
All right, but anyways, if I love the price, I would go with the Saints defense against Atlanta's Kirk Cousins.
Okay, I can see that. Kirk Cousins is starting. I guess he is because Penix is out.
Settle pick already.
Yeah. So now our locks of the week. I'm going to go with Detroit over the Giants. And then my upset, I'm going to take Tennessee at +13 against Seattle. I think they cover that spread. There just really haven't been that many blowouts in the NFL this year. Most of the games have been close, even when the teams aren't, evenly matched on paper. Still been pretty close games, pretty much across the board this year. So I think that'll continue. I think Seattle might win by 7 to 10 points, somewhere around there. But I don't think they cover the +13. So that's going to be my upset. And then my bold prediction, I'm going to take Jacoby Brissett as a top 3 quarterback in fantasy this week. So,
wow, we'll play Kobe Brissett for sure on Fanduel lineups.
Yeah.
Just for fun. For fun, why not?
Right.
All right, and then my lock of the week, simple. Which one did you take?
I took the Lions.
Okay, I'll take Baltimore or Seattle. Let me think. I'll do Baltimore because it's the Jets.
Yeah.
And then
You're upset.
is gonna be New Orleans to
Okay.
they're favored by 1.5 points over Atlanta.
Yeah, I know it's weird.
Oh man, there goes my upset of the week. Wow. I'm a
Yeah,
little
I
sad
don't
now.
get that either. Like that spread just I don't know. Something doesn't sit right.
That screams Kirk Cousins right there.
Yeah.
I'll take New Orleans to cover that 1.5 point spread.
Okay.
The win by 2. And then bowl prediction of the week. Dallas will be held with just 1 touchdown.
Okay.
Period.
Oh yeah, I
That-
can
that-
see that. I mean, the
I-
Eagles defense has looked unbelievable since they made those trades and they got Nolan Smith and Nakobe Dean back. Like they're just been unreal against two pretty good teams in Green Bay and Detroit too. So
originally I wrote down 0.
I think they get one.
Yeah, they will because it was that garbage time at
Garbage time. I could definitely see that. Let's take a look. I didn't see any comments in the chat earlier. I still don't. So we'll look at Prizepicks. Trey McBride, more than 0.5 rushing and receiving touchdowns. I'll definitely take that. Jacoby Brissett, more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. He has exactly 2 in all 5 starts with Arizona this year. I thought that was pretty interesting. So I think he'll get 3 this week, but so far he's had 2 in every week. So more than 1.5. I like that. And then Jamison Williams, more than 12.5 fantasy score. They use Draftkings scoring for football. So, I mean, that's literally like, 6 catches and a touchdown and he's there. So, I mean, it's not going to take, or 60 yards and a touchdown. It's not going to take a whole lot, for him to get there. So.
My other upset was to take Cleveland over Las Vegas.
Cleveland over Las Vegas. Okay. I'll put that down. I think you're up this week when it comes to our FanDuel lineup, correct?
Yeah, I can't pay $7,300 for Brissett, can I?
I mean, I would.
Okay, we're doing it.
Okay. I mean, I just think he's been about as solid as it gets, and Jacksonville's not been very good against quarterbacks, so I'm not worried too much about that matchup. The only thing I guess I would be concerned about would be ownership, but I still think that he's still going to be a solid play no matter what.
On FanDuel, Josh? On FanDuel, okay. You've got Kobe Brissett at 7,300. And then look at McBride's price.
Oh, I know.
And so everybody's funneling to Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we'll do McBride next, right?
Yeah, I like McBride a lot. Let me see here. So we'll do Brissett and McBride. I think you did that last week in your lineup, and it turned out really well. So
why not?
Yeah, your FanDuel lineup that did so well. I think you had Brissett and McBride both. So why not? All right, and then now you said you do not like Travion Henderson, right?
Oh, I like him. He's fourth or fifth.
Okay. For some reason,
you want to take him next? That's
I'll take him at 7,500 for sure. Yeah.
I can take 2 picks in a row here. What's going to be Charbonnet, but you said there aren't too many blowouts in the NFL anymore.
Yeah, no, I know. I kind of went against my own thought process there, but I do like Charbonnet.
Let's do Kamara.
Okay.
No one's going to play him.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I don't know if that's good or
He's got an ankle injury, so we'll have to make sure he's going to. But we'll always post in our on X, and then we'll also post in the YouTube comments for our video any updates to our lineups.
it's just maintenance
Yeah.
day. It's just maintenance. That's all.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jameson, receiver.
Yeah, and I had him on my list. That's one of the guys that I thought would do really well this week.
Yeah.
And who could? Let's get someone down cheaper here. I already did Wilson. This too.
Actually, we didn't do Wilson. We did McBride.
Right. I understand that. No, I was thinking the whole W name.
Oh yeah.
But I did against it.
What do you think about Yosevas if T. Higgins is going to be drawing Christian Gonzalez? Do you think that's
I did think about that.
Yeah.
Just the only thing about that is he's a possession receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And it just in Fanduel that's just not gonna work.
Right.
Unfortunately. So I got somebody just what I said earlier, could go New York Giant. Hodgkins.
Okay. I was thinking about
4,900.
Yeah, it's super cheap. I'll go defense. I'll take I kind of like the Arizona or the Saints when, like you talked about, with us having Kamara. I kind of like that. That leaves us with 7,700 per player, so that's a good amount of money.
Yeah, and Codlin's the gift that keeps on giving. So
yeah, true.
It's not horrible, people. I'm not a Cousins hater. It's just he throws it to guys that aren't open.
Right.
Or I shouldn't say that. He should see guys and he doesn't see them. You want to do Jackson and Jingwa, or should we do it?
Oh yeah, we could. He's what, 88 or 98? 9,800.
Yeah, a little more. I wanted. Let's do right.
56. I can come up with something for 56.
True. Do you mind if I do Rashid Rice
instead of Njigba?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, I like Rice. I don't know how he didn't end up on my list this week. I had him as one of my top receivers.
Yep, he's one of mine too. That leaves us 73.
73. Okay. Let's go with. I got Devontae Smith. Rome. How's the Colts run defense? Well, we got Rice. Never mind.
Yeah, I Hunt's okay if you look at the Colts right
now. I think I'm thinking maybe Gainwell if Warren's going to be out, but we don't know that for sure.
Right.
I guess I'll just go with Devontae. I'll take Devontae Smith.
I do like him against Dallas. I'll tell you that right now.
Anyone you like more than him?
That you're looking at?
At that price range? I didn't really see much, honestly.
I think Jalen Warren, if he was fully healthy, and
fully healthy, I can see that.
But dude, we already got our GPP play in already of Kamara.
Yeah,
I think that makes him just really unique already. And then
yeah, and we got Hodgins, who no one's going to play him. So
now they're gonna. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jameson Williams at that price, I think people might have sticker shock on that one too.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good GPP. Brissett, Henderson, Kamara, Jameson Williams, Isaiah Hodgins, Rashid Rice, Trey McBride, Devontae Smith, and the Saints defense. All right. Any other comments before we get out of here? And then I got to talk NBA tonight.
Well, yeah, we did. You got a couple games that are really gonna be huge blowouts. Drake May will be a lot of chalky lineups with Drake May in them. That's
Yeah.
fine. I don't mind them at all. And then I think there's going to be a lot of KC indie game play.
Yeah.
I think that Indies have a little harder time moving the ball against KC.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they
ahead.
shut down amazing running backs this year. KC
Yeah.
has.
Yeah,
That's why we're saying this. And their pass defense has gotten better and better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll be back probably, like I said, Tuesday or Wednesday of next week to go over the Thanksgiving slate and the rest of week 13. We got the Black Friday game too with the Bears and the Eagles, so that should be another good matchup. All the good games are on Thanksgiving and Black Friday, I think, next week. I was looking at the schedule. So hope everybody enjoyed the show, and I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll be back again next week early, either Tuesday or Wednesday, as we look to crush it in NFL, DFS, and Prize Picks. Have a great day. Thank you.